Have you ever thought, if I just had more money, then all my problems would go away? Well, if that's you, if you've ever had that thought, then this video is for you. And guess what? You're not alone. You are in the vast majority of society where we've believed the lie that if I just have more money, then all the problems are going to go away. And so we end up working harder and harder to have more money. We turn every stone trying to get more money, when reality is what we want the things that we believe the money will bring to us. It's not the money itself. It's what we think it will bring. Maybe it's safety, it's security, it's certainty, it's a better relationship, it's nice things and stuff, it's happiness, it's joy, it's you fill in the blank. If only you had the money, then what? What would you have? And so what we end up doing is we end up putting the emphasis on the money as if money is the medicine. As if by having money, we're going to cure all of the insecurities in our life. We're going to cure all of the bad relationships. We're going to cure all of the self-doubt, all of the self-worth issues. We're going to cure all that. So money becomes the medicine. And this is the lie that society has taught. And we've been indoctrinated with it through our media and through books and our school system. And what do they teach us? If you just work hard, get great grades, you'll be able to get a good job. And what's the job going to do? It's going to give you money. And so you work harder and harder and harder so you can get more and more education, and we go get the job and we work harder and harder in the job. And we say, if I can only get a better job that would pay me more. And so you quit one job, you add another job, and you know the rat race, right? This is the system that we've been indoctrinated into. And for the last 100+ years, probably much longer than that, but certainly for the last 100 years, this has been the way society has indoctrinated us, really from kindergarten all the way through. And what ends up happening is we end up making money the bad guy. And because we've associated that money solves all these problems, we need it to happen, because on an unconscious level, we need to stay consistent with our story, right? And so without even realizing it, we manifest challenges in our life that require more money. We literally create challenges, we create problems that didn't need to exist, that demand more money, because now money is the problem. And now it validates the story. If only I had more money, then I can have all these things. But I don't have the money, so I can't have all these things. That's why my life is not happy. That's why I'm not fulfilled. Here's the reality, folks. Money is not the medicine. I thought it was the medicine too. I mean, once upon a time, I would have sat here and said, if you just have more money, then all your problems go away. And the truth is, I have believed that. And many, many times the challenges in my life have manifested as things that if I only had more money, then those problems wouldn't exist. But what I discovered is money is not the medicine. Money is actually the mirror. What I mean by the mirror, I mean money is a reflection of the underlying cause. Realize that money is a fruit. Money is the result. If you plant an apple tree and you nurture the apple tree day after day, pouring fertilizer on it, pouring water on it, and you let the seasons go, and then one day you get upset because you didn't get oranges, people would call you crazy. They'd say, of course you didn't get oranges. You planted an apple tree. But here's what happens in our day-to-day life. What really happens is we plant one seed and then we expect a different result. Money is a result. And if you want to create a lot of money, you have to plant the money seeds. But what we end up doing is we plant seeds of emotional need, and we think that money is going to be the fruit. We plant the seeds of, I need more certainty. We plant the seeds of, I need more self-worth. We plant the seeds of, I need a better identity. We plant the seeds that I want to feel proud of who I am. And then we wonder why, when those trees grow up, they're not providing money. Because the reality is the roots that we planted were not for the trees or not for the fruit that we wanted to harvest. If you're following my metaphor. What money does is money mirrors back to us the lessons that life's trying to give us. It's like my friend Jim Rohn used to always say, life's going to give you lessons. And when it does, you better make an A, or else it's going to give you the same lesson over and over again. And that's what money does for us. Money is actually the mirror that turns us back to the lesson that life's trying to give us. And so if we don't have the money, then what happens? We feel negative self-image. If we don't have the money, what happens? We feel scarcity instead of abundance. If we don't have the money, what happens? We get the mirror back of the very lesson that life's trying to give us. And until we solve those unconscious challenges, until we solve the challenge of I feel scarcity versus abundance, until we solve the internal challenge of I feel self-worth less rather than self-worthful, lots of self-worth, until we solve those underlying challenges, what's going to happen is, number one, money's going to keep reflecting it to us. Number two, what you're going to see is if you do get the money, one of three things will happen. Either you get the money and it will disappear, or you get the money and you still don't have any change in your life. You don't feel any better. Or if you push it off long enough, what happens is life will literally take all the money away. And then you actually manifest your very worst case scenario. You manifest a situation where you have no money, you have none of the very thing you wanted because you didn't do the hard work. You didn't go into the internal world and solve the problems. That's the blessing and the curse of money, but really it's a blessing. You've heard it said money is the root of evil. It's not. Money is not the root of evil. And by the way, the Bible doesn't say that. The Bible says money is the root of all kinds of evil. And I'm also going to put a mirror up to that and say it is also the root of all kinds of good. Because money in and of itself, it's neither good nor bad. What money does is it reflects who we are. If you're a greedy person without a lot of money, you suddenly get a lot of money, guess what? You're still a greedy person. If you're a generous person without a lot of money, you're going to get a lot of money and suddenly you're like, wow, I'm a generous person with money. If you're an angry person while you're broke, you're going to get a lot of money and you're still going to be angry. Now, these are maybe more extreme emotions, but let's go to some of the ones that might hit a little bit closer. If you have a negative self-worth while you're broke, you can have all the money in the world and you're still going to feel bad about yourself. If you, when you're broke, have a feeling and an emotion of scarcity, if you feel like there's never enough anything, I never have enough, I live in poverty, I live in scarcity, when you have all the money in the world, guess what's going to happen? You will still feel like you are living in scarcity. Here's the reality. Even if you are financially in poverty, all of us have abundance. We have all the air we could possibly need to breathe. Very few of us, certainly in America, very few of us are struggling to actually find some food to eat. Just look at our bellies and look at how much weight we carry. And it's like, we ate somewhere. The very things that we put the emphasis on usually are not really the story. And yet what happens is we keep finding things that will turn it right back to, if only I had more money, if only I had more money, then I would be happy. Then everything would be great. Here's what I've discovered. If we can heal the inner world, if we can heal the inner challenges that are happening, our identity issues, that's usually where it shows up. If we can heal all that, now what happens is we actually clear out the energy so the money can actually flow and it becomes fluid. I'll be very vulnerable and I'll tell you about my own story. For me, I felt like if I made more money, then I could prove myself. And if I proved myself, then people would accept me. And if people accepted me, then ultimately that meant love. And so it came down to a primal need. It came down to a primal need of, I need to be loved. I need to be accepted. Therefore, I had to go perform. I had to go accomplish more. I had to succeed. And then as some of those things happened and some of those things didn't happen, guess what would happen? I'd have all these internal conflicts. When I was successful, I felt loved because I loved myself, because I was successful. And I thought that's what other people wanted of me. And if I didn't have the success that I wanted, if I didn't have the success I perceived I needed, then I hated myself. And I felt like the world hated me because I wasn't being the person that I created in my mind I had to be. I mean, it sounds pretty effed up, right? But that's exactly what I did. And that's what most people do. And if you're resonating with this, it's because you can identify, because here's the truth. 99% of the world, more than that, 99.999%, lives in financial slavery. We live as if the belief that money will solve all of our problems is a real truth. We believe that. It's not the truth. I'm just saying we live that way. And what that means is money ends up controlling us, and we're slaves to it because we're slave to anything that controls us. That's why I use the term financial slavery, because that's what it is. Freedom, however, is to let go of that. Freedom is to let go of that and realize that once I heal the identity issues, once I unclog that, now the abundance can flow, because money was only a mirror to begin with. If I can help you understand just one concept from this video, I want you to get this. Money doesn't heal the underlying trauma. All it does is it magnifies what's underneath. If your nervous system is wired for survival, money's not going to solve it. It's actually going to amplify how much abundance is missing in your life. If your nervous system is wired for the need for love, then money's not going to solve it. It's going to amplify how much love is missing in your life. And you can just go on and on down the list of what maybe your nervous system is looking for, and money just keeps telling you, you don't have it, you don't have it, you don't have it. Here's the crazy thing. The pathway to wealth is not in hustle. The harder we work does not solve the money problem. The pathway to wealth is in healing our internal world. It's in going deep, finding the emotional blocks, dissolving them, uprooting them, rewiring them. And now once that's gone, here's the crazy thing. Money is free to flow. And you realize that you actually had abundance to begin with. Maybe you didn't have the dollars and cents, but you actually had more abundance everywhere than you ever could have consumed. And once you come to the equation from a position of abundance, you realize how much easier it is for abundance to beget more abundance. I had a friend that one time said it's nearly impossible to manifest even $1 from an energy of survival. All manifestation has to happen from a place of abundance. And the way you get to a place of abundance is to heal the underlying issues that are causing you to feel survival or scarcity. Lack. You don't just need more money. What you need is you need to rewire who you are on an unconscious level so that you can become the kind of person that money is attracted to. And when you do that, here's what happens. Money just starts coming to you. You become a money magnet. It just starts flowing to you. You've seen people that never have a problem with money, it just keeps flowing to them. You say, how did that happen? Because they wired their nervous system. They wired their identity to be someone that attracts money. Hey, listen, I really hope something I just said in this video really hits home for you, and it unlocks an incredible new world for you as you reframe the focus of I need more money and turn it over to I need to find these underlying things I need to heal in my life. And if that describes you, I want you to think about joining me for my Income Engine Incubator. Yes, I know the title sounds like we're just about making money, and that is one of the things we're going to focus on. How can we go create some engines that provide passive income for us? That's important. But what I'm also digging into is we got an entire mindset portion of this training that we're going to dig into, and we're actually going to start rewiring those beliefs that torture you, that haunt you. I call them limiting beliefs. They hold you back from going where you want to go. And we're going to find some of these, in many cases, childhood experiences, childhood events. Sometimes they're traumatic events. Sometimes it's just a wiring that you saw from your parents or the environment you were in. But we're going to identify them, dissolve them, uproot them, so that all of that energy can flow, and it can flow in a good, positive direction. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you haven't checked it out already, click the link below for the Income Engine Incubator. Check out that page, and if you like it, book a call. Let's get on the phone. Let's talk about it. Let's see where you are. Let's see if it'd be a good fit. And if it's a good fit for you, I'd love to have you join me in there. I'd love to work on your business with you. I'd love to work on helping you create more income. And even more importantly for me, I would love to work with you on rewiring some of these beliefs and some of these limitations so that I can see the incredible results in your life. All right. Thanks for watching. Again, I hope something really great has landed here. Leave it in the comments. Tell me what you took from this video. I look forward to hearing from you. And until next time, I wish you the best. We'll talk to you soon.